Hi, this is Chris over at 3D Palace. It's pretty late, so I'm not going to be quite as loud as I usually am. What I'm doing is I'm working on a PCG system. Okay, so remember you've got to go to your plugins up here, edit plugins, and enable tool, both tools, and then you can use this. Okay, I've made a new folder called Weeds at the Sides. And the purpose of this is going to be, pardon me, that I need something basically to create weeds at the center, earth coming out, and rocks and things. Just general detritus, right? So that's what I'm going to create. Right click, create a blueprint class. It's going to be an actor. I'm going to call it PCG, and then the name of it, weeds at the sides. Just simply makes more sense. I think naming convention. I'll do it again here. PCG, and this will be PCG. You won't be able to do that unless you've installed the plugin. PCG weed at the sides. Okay, so we've got PCG weed to the sides and the blueprint for weed to the sides. Good start. Now, what we're going to do then, make sure both of these are saved, and I'm going to open up blueprint PGC weed to the sides. And there it is. Didn't take too long. Sometimes it takes ages, so not this time. And what I want to do is add a spline to this. There it is there. Okay, so we can now see our spline. Okay, I'm going to replace the scenery with it. And I'm going to grab this, just give it an extend. Okay, now I showed some people in Cologne how to do this at Gamescom. I'm going to do this now. This is literally for my own use, so I'll try and explain what I'm doing while I'm doing it. So I'm going to make a kind of a loop. Okay, just a little circle using this spline. As you can see. Okay, and now if I just click close loop, it'll close itself, and there. So we've got a 4-point mesh making a simple kind of enclosure here. This is going to be the basis of what we work with. Now on top of this, I'm going to add a PCG, so add PCG, there it is there. And this is just our PCG actor that we created. So I'll select it, PCG weed to the sides. And just here with a little arrow, just click there, compile and save, done. Okay, so we've made this PCG, let's just, this blueprint bar, let's drop it in the scene. And as we do, what you'll notice is that we get our spline, okay? It's quite large, but remember it's adjustable. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab both of these, just elongated, like so, because I need something very specific here, okay? Now, if I open up the PCG itself, here it is here. Now, it's going to be a bit tricky because I won't be able to see what I'm doing, so I can't really put all my big monitor 4K on this, it won't work, so I'll just use that instead. Okay, making sure it's selected. There it is. And first thing I'm going to do is I can't delete these, but I can move them out of the way. Then up here I'm going to right click and type spline. So I'm going to get some spline data. There we go. Now the active filter, it's going to be itself, because, you know, we can do that. Makes it a lot easier. Now, if I just scroll down in here, just have a quick look, see if there's anything else I need to change. There probably isn't. Okay, so next thing we'll do is drag this out, type spline again, and I'm going to use my spline sampler, like so. Okay, so I'll select that, and at the minute it's doing subdivision on spline. I actually want it on the interior. I'll press D so we can see what it looks like. And this will give me a chance to adjust the size and scale of this, which I need to be actually fairly small. So I'm going to change this to make it 20 and 20. So I'll change the second one to 15. And 10. Okay, so interior sample spacing 20, interior border sample spacing 10. There's now a border of 10 between each of these, okay? I may want to reduce that to make it 15. There. Okay, now this thing here, the interior density fall-off curve, what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit that. So if I just scroll down so I can see it, the interior orientation as well can follow the curvature. That'll make things a little bit easier. If we have a look at that now, you can see they're all kind of following, which is what I want to do. So double click on this graph. There we are. I'm going to have two values between 0 and 1, so I'm just going to hold shift and click there and there. And now what you can see is we have this kind of density accumulated in the middle of this and then spreading it outwards like that. If I had a second key, okay, and I adjust it, you can kind of see if I just do this that I can really darken and make it much darker inside like that, if necessary. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be the center of our spread here, all right? So the next thing I need to do is close that down. And I'm going to drag this out and I'm going to do a density filter. Okay, so let me see. Density filter. What the density filter does is it basically takes everything that's really dark and filters it out. You see it's doing this lower bound, upper bound thing. I kind of want the inverse of that though, so let's just invert that filter there. And this is going to give us the top layer. Then I'm going to copy that. And let's just get if I turn off the density on that, debug, sorry, hit debug on that one. This one I want 1.25 to 0.75. So as you see, that's given us a an interesting little filter there. I like that. So we're getting some of the density from the middle. We could possibly raise that 0.5. Yeah, I'll keep that actually like that one. That could be our bottom density. Okay. And if I just make it a little bit thicker, there we go, like that. Okay, so we've got two layers there, and then the middle layer, just Control V again, turn off the debug on the bottom and put it back on here, put them back together again. So for this one, just mess around with the density here, so I get something that I like. That could work. Okay, so that's going to give us a nice little middle boundary there as well. So I'll put that there. So now I've got three different kinds of boundary going on. So I'm going to turn off the bug for that now. Now, for the middle density, which is where we've got the most stuff, I'm going to have some clods of rock and earth. So for this, let's look for mossy stuff. So under assets, I'm going to put in the word moss, static meshes, and wow, did not get any. Oh, there we go. So we've got quite a lot of hanging rock moss there, not really what I want. These rock mosses, that will do. Okay, so this I'm going to put a mesh spawner, static mesh spawner here, and I can see that I have got 1, 2, 3 of those. I'll probably have, I pick at these rocks, yeah. I'll probably have these 3 rocks as well, okay, for my middle piece. So we're going to have 6 mesh entities, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't put one too many, I'm going to mind. And let's now start opening them up. I'm going to drag them over to there one at a time. So that one. And yes, I am going to show you the entire process of doing it, because you know what, sometimes it's good for you. Okay, you get to see how something's done, and I'm repeating it as if you were literally at my workshop. And if you were at my workshop and you know, I was teaching live, this is pretty much exactly what I'd be doing. But the good thing is, at the end, you'd remember it, because you'd be like, I can't believe you just put each individual mesh slowly in one by one. But the good thing is, by the time I finish talking about it, it's done. And now we can see in the center here, we have rocks, and we have some rocks around the outside too, just adding a wee bit of variety there. Brilliant. Okay, but it's not ideal, is it? Because, you know, they're all different kind of, well, they're all uniform. Okay, there's not a lot of interest there. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to drag out here and type in trans, and we'll get a transform point. And I'm just going to connect that to my static mesh spawner there. Then for the scale minimum 1, scale maximum 1.4, don't want to make it too big. And for the rotation minimum 0, rotation maximum, let's make it 180, so they can spin us around as much as they want. And the offset minimum can be -4. That way they can be slightly embedded in the ground. See, like that. Much better. Okay, so that's the first transform points for the central part. Now, what else are we going to do on this central part? Well, I need some bigger rocks. So What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a transform points, and then I'm going to do a second static mesh spawner. And I'm not going to copy this one because it'll keep the seed otherwise. So stat spawner, there we go. Also, I may need a different number of slots. For this one, I'm going to type in the word rock. That should give us an enormous amount of rocks, because I do have an enormous amount of rocks in this. I don't need all of them, and I certainly don't need the enormous ones. That's quite large. Yeah, that's quite nice. That one there, see? SMA rock. Now, what I'm doing here is I will do a mesh entities, open it up, and grab said mesh. And we should get a chance to see pretty much how it, oh my goodness me, that's far too big, looks. Yeah, that's quite big, that one. Now, obviously we don't want as many as that. So what we're going to have to do is we need to kind of have a density cull, really, don't we? We need to change the density. So what have we got here? Density, density remap. Yeah, I could do a density remap, I guess. Right, so let's have a look at the D for that, and I'll turn off that for the moment. Right, now we're seeing our density remap here, and we can mess around with some of these boundaries. So just reduce it, reduce the density. Okay, maybe a bit more. There, that's ideal. So now we've got way fewer on the inside. Okay, so now what I can do is I can grab a second density filter here, and let's just turn this one off, put this one on, and we can see now we've got way smaller amount of points here, so that's good. I can probably remap that again if necessary. In fact, I can probably do a curve remap. There we go. PCG density curve. Let's have a look at how that looks. Yeah, look at that. There's hardly any of it left. Brilliant. Okay, so now I'll do a density remap again. Plug that into there. Unplug that. Not density remap, sorry. What am I saying? Density filter. There we go. I'm just going to put debug on that. I'll change my filter so that I'm only getting a couple of these black ones left. And then that I will then feed into my transform and my static mesh spawner. Okay, better, but needs work. Okay, so what I'm going to do next in my static mesh spawner is add a second entry. So I'll just click there. And let's find a little friend to go with it. Far too big. Also, far too big. Big. Too big. Enormous, incidentally, just colossal. Yeah, flip it, why not? Hope you saw how much restraint I used by saying flip, by the way. Oh, there we go, pop that in there. So now some of these are that as well. We're getting a bit more variation on it. Let's have a look and make sure we've got no weird holes we don't want. No, that actually seems pretty good. Okay, so the next thing I need to do on this is I've got my density thing. I need some weeds of some kind. So let's look for some foliage. So inside this, I'm going to grab some foliage. Where is it? Not you. Mega scans, 3D plants. You know what? Actually, I've got some good ones in this foliage over here somewhere. Meshes, plants. Here we go. Let's have a look and see what we've got. Nice. Very nice. This will do the job. So, I'm also going to pull out a static mesh spawner here then. Actually, no, I'm not. It's greedy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull one out of here. static mesh spawner. So now I've got one coming out of this, and I'm going to do it on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different kinds of grass. Hope you're ready for excitement. So, first one, descriptor, let's give it this. That's rather nice. Oh, right, hang on, mesh. There, much easier. Okay, so we'll have this one, and this one, and this one. And this one. I love these things so much. These procedural tools. I can and do use them for ridiculous amounts of time. Okay, actually I'll use this one. More ferny. Ferns. Actually, no, solid. I'm using ferns. I'm going to go here. There. I'm going to have that fern. Because it's nice. I just quite like it. Okay. Quite dense still, isn't it? And that rotation is not doing me any favours there, really. Just a shame. Suppose actually what I could do here is I can copy that, oops, sorry, that. Pop down here. The reason for that is I can then connect that into there, stop these following the curvature, but become uniform. So I've now got a second set of samples happening on the same one. Then I just turn that off and feed that instead into there. Is this the right spawner? Yep, it is. So these should, yeah, these are a bit more uniform now, but there's still too many of them. Well, that's okay. All I need to do is get my spline sampler here. I can just change the values, can't I? There we go. Maybe 45. There, that'll do. Okay, now, so all I've done is change the value there, and I can just click save, and now I'm going to be moving in roughly the right direction together. Okay, that leaves us this density filter down here for the other stuff. No, not there. Okay, brilliant. Dirt. See if we've got anything in a static mesh. Beautiful little dirt mounds. Oh my word, life is sweet. Okay, so I'm doing endless points. Yes, I did just get that excited, by the way, for some dirt. Okay, so, gosh, I've been going at this for 18 minutes now. It's almost, I hope it's going to be worth it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course it's going to be worth it. PCGs. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one first. By the way, you know how I've set this up, even though, you know, it's a laborious process, I have tried to find a relatively quick way of filling in the information I need. Okay, so it's that one, that one, that one, that one. This brick. Why not? Go on, brick, you can join in. Not sure why. Okay, so let's have a look now and see what's happening. The earth is pretty much overpowering quite a lot of this. Isn't ideal, but that's okay, we'll work from it. Let's go to our transform points. And look at the scale, minimum being 0.5 to that, and the variation 180 degrees on the rotation. Still got too many of these kind of bricks here, really, which is a shame. And what I'll do instead of that brick is I will find some grass. There we go, found some grass. And we'll just go to my static mesh spawner and stick in there. Okay, and that should, there we go, do that. Nice, and I'll add one more as well, because why the heck not? And that can be some sort of a flower. So I think I've got a violet. Yep, there we go, native violet static mesh. Put that there. Should start getting some violets once it's finished. Doing whatever the heck it's doing to make it not completely grey. I think it must be doing its shaders. Yeah, that's working. Come on, what are you doing? I don't see any errors. Right, it's friend. His friend also does not want to have any colours today. It's fakes. It's no use having flowers if they're not flowery, is it? That doesn't look particularly pretty. Right. Okay, let's find a different flower. That is actually going to work. Not you. Megascan. Islands. No, it's just grass. It's not what I need. Megascans. 3D plants. Black leaf parsley. Mustard. I like mustard. Mustard looks nice. You're gonna load mustard? Of course you're not. Why not? What's happened to you guys? Honestly. Let's just see if it's a texture, shall we? Let's get those all regular and see what happens. It seems like it worked for about 2.5 seconds. That was good. Now, if I go in, it doesn't even appear at all. Just a bit crazy. Sure, what's going on there? I might have to re-import my mustard. It's activating. Window. This is exactly what's going to happen, by the way. Luckily, I should still be logged in. I just need to find where I put the dongle things. Right, here we are. This is field poppies. They're going in. And these white windflowers are going in. These 3-cornered garlic are going in. These dove's foot are going in. By the way, these are all native to the Hebrides, just in case you were wondering. Well, the African cornflower wasn't, so I'm not sure why I put that one in. Never mind. I'll find a reason. Maybe it floated across on an owl. Let's add some grass as well. The grass always looks nice. There we go. So, should have added a fair bit of stuff by now. And I have no doubt that Unreal Engine probably wants me to save a little bit. So, there we go. Okay, so let's have a look at some of these things. This should be grass, for example. Now isn't. This should be mustard. Why are you not mustard? I can only assume something's gone dreadfully wrong inside of here. I just don't know what. See, that should be mustard. But it is not. Good God. I have to look into this. Never mind, I'll see some at work, obviously. So, yeah. English ivy's nice, but not really I'm looking for here. Flat leaf parsley. Oh, there we go. Bloody stuff's working. Fantastic. Weird, but fantastic. Where's my PCG gone? God, all the windows. Hang on. I'm gonna have to reopen the content drawer. Down here. My PCGs. And in my PCGs, I'm going to look for my weeds at the sides. That's him. What a great name that is. And just open up the PCG itself. There we are. Got this. Should have left myself a space at the end. Oh, look at that. This one started to work again. Oh, that's good news. Right over here. Okay, so See what our PCG is now doing over here. Should be looking a bit better than it did, even if the shaders aren't, you know. Wow, that's really, really, really bad. God's sakes. Okay, can I? Put that there for the flat leaf parsley, which is apparently working, but you wouldn't believe it. Too much stuff in the middle, that fern and stuff, so that'll need to be fixed as well. Okay, so fern and its little friends. Where are they? Are they here in the middle? See, this is the problem, is that I will put things in all sorts of silly places and I forget they exist. Because I is a pro. Yeah, there's the fern there. Let's get rid of that. Fern's hopeless. Absolutely ridiculous. Use that instead. Leave parsley. Would look better if it didn't look absolutely terrible like that. Suspicion, only a suspicion, that it may be to do with virtual texture system. So I'm going to try turning the virtual texture system off, just out of curiosity, to see what happens. Not for the entire project, but just for this. Okay, so save my albedo, transparency, roughness, opacity. Open up this fellow, can't see the flower at all anymore. Oh, let's see. Right, let's go back to the content drawer. Using GUI to the side, I try and work out why my flowers have vanished. It has to be a Megascan's material issue, which means I'm going to have to fix it myself later. Okay, so is plants. I'll look over here. At least we've got some we can use, even if they're not wonderful. It's just a rocking horse, isn't it? Why do I even? I'm glad I don't have to pay for mega scans anymore, to be honest. 3D plant is giving me a not the greatest I've ever seen in my entire life, let's just say. Try converting them back just in case, but I doubt that's going to do anything at this point. I take it back, it has completely fixed the problem. That is so bizarre. It's a shame that it's the African corn flag, however, which is not really something I can use, because, you know, I can't. It would be silly. This burr, it's okay. Dove's foot. It's actually looking okay rather than terrible. Yeah, dove's foot. Okay, solid. We need dove's foot. What's dove's foot, Chris? You may be asking me. I don't know, it's a plant. Okay, so let's have a look. That's about leaf parsley at the minute. I'll move this over here out of the way. Just tell you what I'm putting in. It's a dove's foot. There, see? And I'll also take some of this big grass off because, to be honest, it's a little bit big. Replace that with a variation of dove's foot. And these are okay, these weird wavy fellas here, so I'll let them do their thing, even though they're waving far too much. Uncomfortably much, actually. I might just, yeah, sod it, I'll use this grass and stuff instead. So open up my content drawer, go to PCG way to the sides, on the main spawner here, I think. No, here. Okay, so just checking what's in it. Check what's in this one. Okay, check what's in. So we've got two. This one, which is basically rocks. This one, which is going to be a lot better in a moment. Let's get rid of that other comical cartoon style one. Place it with this grass. And I'll replace that with that one. Okay, so now we're getting a much better variation of central plants. Okay. Now on the outside then, go back to that. So I'm going to drag a spline sampler. Actually, I don't need to, I've already got the outside density going on here. Using that block on the inside and using this section here on the outside. Okay, now we know the native violet was not working, so see if there's anything else I can use instead. I don't want to use the ground cover. Sea thrift could be nice. White windflower, yeah, I might use those. Okay, because technically they'll go in okay. So there's a white windflower. There we go. That starts to appear little clumps around here. Stick a 3-cornered garlic in for one of them as well. Okay. Index 3. I've got a dirt mound. I'm picking up slightly too many dirt mounds. So I'll just use some sea thrift. There we go. I've got a little bit more variation. I'll be one very, very low down. Okay, so the main scatter here of this dirt. Let's just take a bit more of this dirt out. I should have some grass. I could do a better grass than this. Let's try ribbon grass. Which for some reason I didn't have. Give us a moment, hopefully I'll have it soon. Yeah, that's excitingly blue. I like that. I was just thinking, how blue can you make this ribbon grass? The answer is pretty dark blue. Okay. I've got a feeling this is what the problem is. Oh, it's fixed. That's what the problem is. Basically, it wants to use virtual textures, and it didn't have the ability to because the textures weren't virtual textures. Normally, it will import them directly as virtual textures, so I must have a flag off. Never mind. Okay, so we've got all this lovely grass here. So let's open the PCG again. And I am going to do another spline sampler rather. Here we go, making sure that I'm using interior good on interior. And then move this over here so we can see a little easier. Press D so we can see the debug. And I'll make this 15, 20, and 5. Yeah, that'll take. We'll start with 10.5 and then I can thin it out from there. So noise. Density noise. Okay, that'll probably do fine what it is anyway. So one's points. And I'm going to do some -3, 3, 3, 3, just to offset the points. You'll see what I mean if I do that. Now I'm getting a lot more randomness in it. And I'll change the rotation -180, 80. I'll change the offset minimum between -2 and 0, so that it's slightly sunk in. You can see this better if I come over here. Okay, see that? Good. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is not messed with the scale yet, but I'll do mesh spawner. And inside here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grasses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's start dragging them across. 1, 2. I'm going to trim this grass. 3, 4. And add one variation of this as well and have a different plant amongst them. So let's have some. Did I get the native violet working? I don't think I did, sadly. No, oh well, I'll sort that out some other time. There's obviously something completely wrong with that. I don't flatly parsley. I can fix it because again it needs to be reconverted to a virtual texture. There we go, that fixes it. Parsley kind of, it's still a bit broken. Dove's foot, I don't think so. I'm looking for, nor is the corn flag. You know what, I'll give it a white wind flag, just for variation's sake. So, load that up. And it's this one. Where the end. There it is, there's my index. I'll open it up. And just grab. Let's have this one gone. That's quite nice actually. Okay, so next, let's look at this. Should have an absolute swage load of stuff going on. We have, so that's cool. I like that dirt, that's looking okay. So next, PCG weed to the sides. Trust me, this is really way more efficient for me than doing it other ways. Okay, I'm going to change my spline sampler, start doubling it. Just give myself a little bit more sparsity. I don't need that much. Okay, so we've got these nice little flowers, wildflowers growing here. Good, fits in with the island. Scattering of teeny weeny rocks next. What I need to do is stand here and do a spline sampler. So, and I'm just going to detach the others. Okay, and this one, I'm going to do my side, so interior, pull this, just, let's see, there, shift and click, shift and click. Let's have a nice big run at it, and I'll do one in the middle, just move that. Okay, so I get this nice stark darkness. There, that's what I'm probably looking for. Really want control of that fall off on the outside, you see. Okay, so with that, I turn that off. Come down here. I need to. I don't need to adjust anything in that respect. No, I want the density filter. I want to strip out the outside parts. So there we go. That will give me only the bits that I want. Very little else. Now I need to be able to get my rocks, so let's change this down to 10 and 10. 5. Okay, and next I'm going to apply some random noise, so let's do noise. Turn that off, turn that on. Oh, lovely. Okay, that's beautiful. And next, I'm going to do a noise filter, sorry, density filter. And I'll have my density filter. Just right, see, lovely. Okay, then I'm going to do my transform points. Again, I'm going to use nodes that I need to use, which is groovy. So I'm going to add -2, 2, -2, 2, -0, 0.5. Okay, so embedded some art. -180, 180. Randomize the rotation a bit more. I'll turn off this density filters debug and put this one on. Otherwise you won't see what I'm doing. And -1, -1, 1, 1. It's really minor. It's scales. So put a minimum scale of 0.8, the maximum scale of 1.2. Good. Turn that off. And I want to do a spawn measures. Or spawn actual, whatever the heck it is. You know, static measures. That's it. Okay. And with the static measure spawner, I need some scattery rocks. So I did have some packs of scattering rocks. I've got a feeling they didn't survive when I came across here. So this small rocks pack will do. There we are. And with any luck, they shouldn't look horrible. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, I am going to use all 7. Just the way it is. Sorry. So static mesh spawner. Get all this lined up. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eventually, by the time you watch this tutorial or this video or whatever, anyway, you may find they've actually made an easier process for mass selecting objects to go into here. Or you can probably write a script that just interrogates an entire directory. Who knows? Okay, we're living in the future. It's wonderful. For the minute, we do it this way. Save. Nice. Okay, and if I then take my scale for these rocks, my transform points, I think I'm going to make it between 1 and 1.5. Okay, so give it way more variance like that. Do a save. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy both these. I'm going to do a new density filter. So this is 0.51. So density filter. There we go. And I'll invert this density filter. But I'm going to change the scale on this lot to scale between 0.5 and 1. Okay, so we get much smaller ones in the gaps. What I could also do is I could probably just run it straight to there rather than using that at all. See how that looks. Okay, so we've got plenty of garbo there, different scales and sizes. Now let's put everything back into the fold, as it were. Okay. That's causing a problem, isn't it? So let's find where that dirt is stored. It's not that big rock there. There. So I know it's not this one. Go to the static mesh spawner here. There it is. Okay, we need to replace out this dirt with something much more manageable. Probably going to be more grass, to be honest. So, grass probably. Start putting that in. Because if I don't, it's going to be very overpowering to see. Okay, so I can maybe leave one in. We'll see. I'm not sure how many chunks of earth I've got. So it's like with one left in. Still one too many, isn't it? Disappointing. But you know what? We live with disappointment every day, so the way it is. Okay, so let's see what happens now with this. I'm going to save it. Let's see, right click, add a point here, just stretch it out. These flowers are pretty uniform in size, aren't they? So, what are the flowers? To the rocks. Some more rocks. These ones. So, never actually bothered with the transform points. Brilliant. Done, right? Kind of important. Yeah, so we've lost that uniformity now. It's looking to lose. Should be able to right click here. That central one can come down just a tiny bit. Two, three, one, two. Do I even get to see them in the middle? Yeah, but they're only growing in the middle. That's cool. That'll do it. And these ones are... Yeah, that one. Okay, so... I can keep them nice and small so they don't overpower everything else. In the middle of the rocks in the middle. Very, very, very uniform indeed. What's going on here? Oh, they're not rotating. Should be. But they're not. Okay, which strand are they on? Not that one. That one. Not that one. That one. Transform points. Yep, there's no rotation on it. And no variation on the scale either. Too big. Approved. Let's sample on that again. That's it. And I'm happy with that. So now I have this PCG system that I've built and you have joined me for, if you managed to watch all the way without committing suicide. And Let's come down the plate from here level. Should look pretty much okay. Nice. I'm curious what the FPS is. But I feel like these things are eat processing. That. Dear me. That is a lot of process. A lot. Well, let's have a look then. Because if that's going to be, well, 33 FPS. So if I go to my content rule, PCG, we did the sides here. To be fair, this is a beefy sampler. Make that 25, 17.5. This is warning about. No idea what you could learn with that. Weird thing. Okay, so let me see. Spline sampler. Change this to 20. Then I'll change this to 3020. I'm halving the amount it's using. 45, 45. I'll just change that to 60. This one I'll change to 30, 20. Let's delete these. My PCG sampler. That seems a bit more friendly on the old FPS. Just play from here. Yeah, that's kind of obviously decreased heavily. There's a lot of regularity in there, especially in the grass stuff. Okay, last second then. And we need to work out which one the grass and the sides bit is. I think it's not that one. Yeah, no, sort of, yes, okay. So what we need to do is go to our transform points. Just really mess with the offsets. Okay, and then I need to find the other one. That one. Okay, so go to transform points there. 10. 10, 10. So now it's got a lot more move around. Things aren't as even. We're not getting gridding, which we were before, which is horrible. Still got some big rocks, still got some little rocks. Difference is this will not murder my system. And it's still slower than, but I'll grab my PCG. Yes, there we go. Clear the link. There we go. So this is now just an instance, which is way faster because it's not generated on the fly. Nice, that'll do me. Okay, so there you go. That is how we use the PCG to create a complete enclosed system, and then thin it down because it's really overpowered. Anyway, see you later.